Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. The Indian capital Delhi has launched a car rationing system as it battles hazardous levels of pollution. From the 4th to the 15th of November, only cars with either odd or even number plates will be allowed on the roads each day. Such a system has been used before, but it's not clear if it actually helps bring down pollution. Levels of dangerous particles in the air, known as PM 2.5, are at well over 10 times safe limits. The city government has declared a public health emergency. Vietnamese police have arrested 8 people over the deaths of 39 people found inside a lorry trailer in Essex last month. The police chief said they have launched an investigation to eradicate the rings which bring people illegally to Britain. He added that the police were treating the tragedy as a smuggling incident rather than a case of people trafficking. Meanwhile, Greek police found 41 migrants hiding in a refrigerated truck during a routine check on a motorway in northern Greece on Monday. The migrants, mostly from Afghanistan, were not injured, police said, but some asked to go to hospital. The refrigeration system had not been turned on in the truck. The US President Donald Trump has threatened to cut federal funding for the wildfires sweeping California in a Twitter spat with the state's governor. Nearly 100,000 acres have been destroyed by wildfires in recent weeks, and thousands have been forced from their homes. Mr. Trump blamed Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat, saying he had done a terrible job of forest management. Several of this year's major wildfires have burned in unforested areas.
We should not have to be here. Years and years of greed, years and years of mismanagement, particularly with the largest investor-owned utility in the state of California, PG&E. That greed has precipitated in a lack of intentionality and focus on hardening their grid, undergrounding their transmission lines. They simply did not do their job. It took us decades to get here, but we will get out of this mess.
At least 5 people were killed as Iraqi security forces opened fire on protesters in Baghdad on Monday, as thousands continued to gather in the largest wave of anti-government protests for decades. Security forces tried to disperse protesters, firing live ammunition, tear gas canisters and using water cannon while protesters tried to assist the wounded. It is unclear how many people have been so far injured in the clashes, but at least 3 people were shot dead when protesters attacked the Iranian consulate in the Iraqi holy city of Karbala on Sunday night. Prime Minister Abdel Mahdi appealed to protesters to suspend their movement. The Premier has said he is willing to resign if politicians agree on a replacement and has promised a number of reforms. 1 person has died and at least 34 were injured on Monday in a grenade attack in Indian-administered Kashmir's main city of Srinagar, in the bloodiest incident since New Delhi stripped the region of special status. The injured, including 3 Indian paramilitary police, have been admitted to one of 3 hospitals after the blast on Hari Singh High Street in the centre of the city. 1 person is in a critical condition. The Muslim-majority Kashmir Valley, claimed by both India and Pakistan, has been in turmoil since New Delhi announced it would strip the territory of its long-held autonomy and statehood. Iran will not lift its ban on talks with the United States. That's according to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Making the announcement, he described the 2 countries as implacable foes on the eve of the 40th anniversary of the seizure of the US Embassy in Tehran. Relations between the 2 foes have reached a crisis over the past year after US President Donald Trump abandoned a 2015 pact between Iran and world powers. And finally, people living in parts of rural Australia are celebrating after much-needed rain brought an end to one of the country's longest dry spells. A series of storms broke out in New South Wales over the weekend, bringing relief to parched lands. Children and adults alike ran outside in joy as the heavens opened. The country needs much more water to end the current drought. But that didn't stop these people celebrating in a very particular way. And that's your international news around the world in 5.